Hey, what's up, Soul Warriors? It's me, LC, and welcome to Freedom Friday live with LC and you. And I'm grateful to be here as always. I know things have been a little hit or miss with me, and that's all right, man. We go through changes in life, and the part of recovery is accepting those changes and being willing to stay on your course in the midst of changes and shakeups. And it's the willingness to learn from what's going on in your life versus cursing its existence in your life. We have this thought, this goal that if we put down our addictions, that life will just somehow get better. And really, that sets us up for failure, because the bottom line is the majority of us used as a coping skill for what was already happening in our lives. So we have to do away with that perception of all that's supposed to happen here is I'm supposed to put down my addictions and life is supposed to get better. We quickly find out that that's not really the case. It's our perception of life that makes life better. It's not getting to a place where we no longer experience trials or tribulations. It is knowing that those trials and tribulations are here in our lives to empower us, to let the real us emerge from within. So I love you guys. I'm grateful to be here. I thank you for all of your massive ongoing support and prayers. And if you guys are ready to get into this Freedom Friday, then you know I'm ready. So let's go. What's up, everybody? It's Freedom Friday live with LC and you. And I, again, am so grateful to be here. I am working on a new schedule that's going to give me and you guys a little more stability. I'm learning in the fact that all of my stable routines, I do the stable in air quotes because nothing's really stable. My stable routines have been shaken up, and I realize that sometimes those routines are important. So, while my routines are being shaken up, your routines are being shaken up. So I'm going to come up with a new schedule that kind of gives you a time of when I'm going to be here and where I'm going to be. I am going to start doing more with YouTube, as it is my dream to grow that channel for different and yet the same purposes, because we can't stay, if we want to grow in recovery, we can't stay on these one subjects. It's about growing. And the fact that I am in recovery and that I am growing is what I want to share about. I don't always want to stay in those first stages of recovery with what we talk about. I want us to evolve into what recovery is, because we'll never be out of recovery. The moment we think that we're out of recovery is a dangerous moment. Not to say that we're always addicts. Recovery to me is constant healing, has nothing to do with substance or habit or any of those things. It has to do only with the constant evolution of who we are as a people, as human beings, as gifts to this earth and to this life. And, as I evolve in my recovery, I like to share those things with all of you. I'll share the things that work and the things that haven't worked for me, but it doesn't mean they won't work for you. Right now, I am currently involved in a study of A Course in Miracles. That's a year-long study about just what forgiveness really means, and what true healing really means, and what the word and the actions of miracles really mean. You see, miracles are happening in our lives every single day. It just all depends on our perspectives of what we see a miracle is. My good friend Anthony Brown did a Thursday with Care video this week on the word help. And it was really profound to me because it really coincided with a lot of the things that I've been studying. You know, as if you're not a subscriber on Anthony Brown's YouTube channel, you should, because every Thursday he does videos on different subjects, and they're very short, very to the point, and they're very profound to me. And so this week was he doesn't show up the way we perceive that it should. And therefore, we think we're not being helped. Instead, we've got to open our minds to what help really means. You know, when we say, I need help with something, you know, Anthony used the example of his laundry. I need help with my laundry. Well, it doesn't necessarily mean that somebody's going to come knocking at the door and say, hey, I happen to do laundry for a living, and I just was guided to your house, and I think you need my help. That's not what it really means. It may come in help of a different way of gaining the time to do that. And that's why I really liked Anthony's video this week, because it really went with the same thing we're talking about when we talk about miracles. We say, I need a miracle. When we're sick, I need a miracle to get well. And we think that means just make me well. And it could absolutely mean that you make a new connection where you are of somebody with a completely different mindset than you, and they lend you something that now motivates you to treat your body better, to open your mind to another area of healing. And it all comes down to perception. And I've learned in this recovery, because I've learned to be grateful for my addiction. I want to tell you that, and I want to say it again. I'm grateful for my addiction, because without my addiction, I could not be this close to myself. I could not step through fear the way I do now, because you know, and I know that when we're in active addiction, we step through fear every single day. And it has everything to do with the importance we place on our why and what, even our whos. And when we transfer those same ideas over to recovery, we almost seem fearful to do that, because we want to feel guilty about that side of us, because we call it a dark side. And really, it's not the dark side of us. It is the wrong placement of amazing courage. It's the wrong placement of determination. It's the wrong placement, the negative placement of persistence, tenacity, commitment. And it really means that all of those things, see, we put our stability in things that are so shaky. We put our stability in the definitions that we put upon things and people, when in reality, that's all you. You had that determination, and you still have that determination. You just have to visit and find a why within yourself, or even outside of yourself in the beginning, to create a why that gets you up out of bed and remains determined to grow through your pain versus just escaping from it for another moment. One thing we all know for sure in this game of recovery is you may escape your issues for the moment, but that's all. It doesn't go anywhere. It is even that much stronger when it comes back to you, because now you have created new issues in the time that you were escaped. And it just becomes this vicious cycle of guilt and regret, guilt, regret, guilt, regret, use, guilt, regret, use, guilt, regret. It's just this vicious cycle. But here's what I know about you, because I know it about me, is that you have the power within you to break that cycle. And many times we don't understand in the moment why we're going through so much. And then out of nowhere, the reason reveals itself. Somebody comes along that needs exactly what you've just gone through, and there's somebody close to you. And you say all of a sudden, oh my gosh, I thought I was alone in breaking this cycle, but I'm not. And here's what it was all for. And it's that moment that I've learned to appreciate so much that I'm willing to wait for it. Because at the end of every one of these struggles, there is a miracle. And that miracle is that it was all worth it for this one share, or this one moment. And it really makes it worth it. And never mind all the things that are growing in you and in us during all of this that maybe when we're in the midst of it, we can't see. But if you'll sit down and you'll go through your life, you'll see that help showed up in many different forms. And we really, really block ourselves from so many blessings when we put limits on it. When we say our prayers and we limit it to only what we think we need, we're missing so much. When we step back and we become the observer of life and we realize that nothing has meaning until we give it meaning, wow. It actually unlocks the handcuffs of you and your mind when you realize that even thoughts don't have meaning except the meaning we put on them. It breaks free of the chains when we step back and become the observer of those thoughts and not the liver of those thoughts. And we realize that we are separated from those things. Break the chains some more. For me, this is what recovery is about. For me, I'm so grateful to be here. Had I been living what I defined as a perfect life, I may have missed the depth that comes from truly knowing who I am, where I come from, what I'm doing here, and just how amazing this life is. I might have missed connections that I've made with all of you all to get to share in the growth and the happiness and even the tragedy of some of your lives. It's amazing to me to be able to watch from a distance so many of you grow and really evolve, to grow stronger in who you are and to go through things where a year ago you were writing me saying, man, I fell back again. And we talked then and said, okay, just get back up. Find a determination and know that you are enough to be determined for. When I came into recovery, which I'll tell you guys again, this is my first time in recovery. I've made many stabs at clean and sober. But if I never changed the inside of me, the very roots of why I was escaping, the pain I was trying to escape from, the questions of why me? Why did I have to be the one to be abused? And why did it have to happen just over and over and over to the point where I believed that was all I was here for? Why? When I changed that why to a determined why, let me know why. and what I'm supposed to do with this. That's when I entered recovery. When I said, I don't want to just leave my coping skill alone because people say it's bad. And yes, I can see that it produces many negative effects in my life. But in my sober life, I was creating just as many negative effects. And now I just didn't have my coping skill. It's not worth it. And many times until we make that shift, it's not going to be worth it. And you're going to wonder why you can't get this thing. You got to make that shift before you leave the coping skill. Recovery starts long before abstinence begins. It starts as a thought, and that thought grows, just like you're making a snowball. It starts with a tiny thought, and then you just keep pushing it forward until it becomes so big that it pushes out the coping skills. It pushes the substance out on its own because you taste healing. Many of the most successful soldiers of recovery, the Jimmy C's, the Tammy P's, the so many beautiful souls that we have on this platform, many of them will tell you the same. Staying clean and sober is not going to be enough. You've got to reach deeper, and you got to reach for healing. That's what helps you go through and gain day after day, year after year of recovery success. And they'll also tell you, you never get to a place where life ain't happening. What you get to is a place where you are more stable to move through without your old coping skill. You learn how to do things like reach out. You learn how to do things like love yourself. You learn how to do things like be of service to others when you need service yourself. All of these are miracles. Every one of them are miracles. And it doesn't come through religion. It doesn't come through this outward thing that somebody grabs and says, okay, I've got all the answers. It comes from a daily trust in something much bigger than ourselves. What you label it is your own business. It comes through little by little learning to love who you are, learning to accept your past and loving you in the midst of it. See, I've had to learn how to love that small child in me that I used to be angry at because we couldn't protect ourselves. I've learned to love those that in my child's brain perceived that they should have done different. I've learned to love all of that because it's made me who I am today. And had I not gone through any of that, I could not be the depth of who I am. I've learned that I am forgiven because I am. And I've learned that I now forgive because also I am. And to lift those weights off of our shoulders leaves us less to run from in this life. And that's what I'm learning today on this Free Your Soul, Feed Your Soul Friday. And through all of the things that we are going through currently, through all the stability that has been shaken in our lives and so much of it stripped away, it leaves only trust. It leaves only learning how to stand on your own 2 feet, learning how to be stable within. It also shows all the places externally that you might have been building something that was never going to stand. And now it lends me to know that the solid ground on which I build my life is present. It's present. And I truly love you guys. I love you guys. Lori Waters, good morning. Let me say some good mornings. Jimmy C, man, I love you. Yes, Jimmy, never face it alone. That's so true, man. That's so true. I pray for you guys every day. And I want you to know that and feel that because I really, really do. So many of you affect my life more than you know, more than you may ever know. And it's so true. Tammy P, I love you so much. Love you the most. Alicia Lee. Oh, wow. Let me go up and see Janet McClanahan. So many of you are just so beautiful in this house, man. I am so blessed. Connie Rice, good morning. Oh, I'm so blessed to know you people. Hey, Anthony Brown. Anthony Brown in the house. Larry Brown in the house. Oh, I love Larry Brown. You guys will never understand what Larry Brown means to me. Just so many surprising miracles come in your life when you open yourself up to see miracles of all kinds. Take the limits off, break the chains, and learn to see miracles of every form. They're everywhere, man. They're everywhere. All right. Stacy K, good morning. Anthony Patty, yes, man. I gotta call you, bro. I gotta call you. I really do. So much to catch up on. Mary Huffman, good morning. Hey, Mom, I love you. I will see you soon. Sam, my mate, I love you, man. Livy, good morning. Okay, that's all StreamYard shows me. That might all that's being here, man. But I love you guys for coming back with me. You know, the people that stick in there and stay with you show me, man, that you are ever evolving in this recovery thing, that you are ever evolving in who you are. And that, my friends, is the ticket to seeing the miracles of life every single day. If I did not call you out and you're here, that StreamYard only shows me so many. And I do want to thank you for being here. And all of you that will watch the replay of this video today, thank you so much for being here and lending your support. Guys, I haven't been doing a lot of shares because, you know, I've been hit or miss in the videos. It's because I want you to see what I'm going through. I don't ever want to just show you the happiest days of my life. I want to show you the struggle. And I also want to express to you how I'm moving through the struggle. And I know that the struggles make me stronger. The struggles make me better. And that's what I want you guys to see. But sometimes, as we all know, in the midst of the struggle, we're not quite sure exactly what it is that we can put words to. Not everything has words to put and definitions to put to until they get to a place where I feel that the Spirit moves me to be able to share these things. So always know you're on my mind. Know that I'm always working behind the scenes to bring you amazing content that's going to feed your soul. And I am working on a new type of routine, something that doesn't leave you guessing. And so that you can start to know where you're going to be able to find LC and when we're going to be showing up. And thank you guys for staying with me through all this. I mean, it's been tough, but it's been beautiful. And that's the truth. That's the truth. Hey, you know, I'm going to leave you with this last thing because it's beautiful to me. Sometimes when we think we got it all together, and it really seems like we do, and maybe we do, you know, we don't always get to experience the miracles of other human beings. But sometimes when your chips are down and when it seems like everything's being shaken up, we get to truly experience the goodness and the greatness of other human beings on this earth. And I'll tell you, through this time of what seemed like tragedy for my wife and I, we have gotten to experience the amazingness of humanity. So many beautiful souls in our lives. And you know what? Maybe that is the biggest miracle of all of this. We have a tendency to see our world and see nothing but the bad, see nothing but the negative, see nothing but how we're fighting each other and our ridiculousness in our politics and all the things happening, COVID, all this stuff. We fail sometimes to remember that there are beautiful human beings, more beautiful human beings walking this earth than there are tragic ones. And so when we go through things, we get to experience that. And I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for that. I dedicate this very video today to Mark and Marty McLeod, who have been a great showing of humanity for me in my life. Elizabeth and David Beam, who have been an amazing, just all of these examples of true love, humanitarianism. I'm making up words or saying them wrong, but just, I don't know, they give a definition to what Christianity is and should really be in this world. And so I'm grateful for them. I'm grateful for all of you guys. Hey, I am going to be on Sunday night at 8 p.m. with my good friend and podcast host, Martin John Garcia of the Recover Yourself podcast. So y'all join us at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here and on Recovery Soul Food at youtube.com. We're going to go live at 8, and Martin John's going to talk to us about just his amazingness and his podcast and all the things that he's doing. He's an amazing artist. He's an amazing human being, and I can't wait to introduce to him formally to you soul warriors, because you are an amazing family as well. So guys, know that I love you. I'll see you soon. And until then, guys, just keep being awesome. I'll see you soon. Bye.